so good to see you with your characteristic hat,
Of
actually.
course, I have to stay
Yeah,
true to my style. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
absolutely. It's so nice to see you, and thank you so much for making it to our show today.
Pleasure.
Well, first of all, would like to know how are you coping with all this Eurovision experience so far?
Very well, I have to say, to my own surprise. I thought it was going to be very stressful, and it can be stressful, of course, because it is quite a feat, and it's something I would only probably have happened to me once in my life. But
Mhm.
it's a great journey, and it's nice to see people respond to the song, and it's also lovely to talk to people like you. And I was just in Barcelona for the first Eurovision party. It's
Mhm.
such a wonderful experience, I have to say. This is a great, beautiful community, and it's nice to see that everyone is just so nice and joyful and willing to be entertained by the artists. It's very, 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 very nice.
Absolutely, and so nice to have you as well. As part of this experience. Well, your triumph to pre-selection came a little bit as a shock win, not for me particularly, because I was pretty much sure that you will get it.
Okay.
But it came a little bit as a surprise, right? So was it also a surprise for you, and how did you actually manage to digest your victory?
Well, we all saw my face when I won, so yes, I was a bit surprised. Like that's something I could not lie about, obviously. But I have to say, it's not. I want to make it very clear. It's not because I was unambitious or because I was not willing to go all the way for Eurovision. To be very clear, I'm just someone who's very realistic. I've been in this business for a long time, and it's not also at this moment, which was a beautiful moment. But I wasn't like, has to happen or my career is over. It was just like we just do this, we see what happens, let's have fun. So I was more in a sort of realm of like, I want to do a good performance. I want people to enjoy the song. And then I have to let all that shit go, basically. I have to be open to it. And I also knew there were other favorites, obviously. So I was just more in a realm of like, let's just see what happens. But I think also it's a bit of a protection mechanism where you say, I'm willing to accept everything. I give it to the gods, whatever happens. And I think maybe I wasn't expecting the gods to be so generous with me that night. And that's why I was quite amazed about it, actually. But it's something that I'm still very proud of because it also kind of proves that everything still can change on the night itself. Everything can still change with one performance, which is, I think, a lovely example of also how this contest works.
Mhm. Well, I don't think gods actually did anything. I mean, it was their performance and a beautiful song that made it to to for you to get the triumph. Visit.
It's very kind. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
the
sorry.
um, oh, sorry. The Eurovision experience is a little familiar to you because you have been a backing singer for
Hmm.
Senek and
Yes,
for Huberphonic. So,
exactly. Yes.
was your decision to represent your country influenced by these previous experiences?
It's a very good question because it's actually you already said it. I think those two experiences really influenced me and were very informative as to taking part in it myself because I was always a Eurovision fan. And by doing the selection as the Belgian delegacy for Scenic and for Verphonic, I got to experience it with like a little bit of less responsibility, so I could look at the whole experience from how it happened. But it wasn't about me, and I truly fell in love with the whole experience. And the most incredible thing for me is there are two things that really drove me to do this. I could see myself change, and I could see myself become ambitious when I was part of the crew. Like I will never forget the first time I wasn't even on stage for Scenic, and I wasn't on stage for Verphonic neither, but I still felt a responsibility for my country. Once it started counting you off like 3, 2, 1, I really felt this pride in my heart, like I have to do good for the country. And it's something I've never ever felt in my whole life, and that was very special to me. And then the other thing is, even if you're not on stage and you're in the arena where it's happening, it's so magical because the crowd is so responsive. Doesn't matter where you are, if you're last, if you're first, people are just gonna sing your song. They're there for you. And I think, as I'm a fan too, I think that's what happens with Eurovision fans. First you have favorites, but then you hear those songs again and again and again, and at the end you love all the songs, and that's what you really feel in that crowd. So it was so magical that it made me more ambitious. It made me into an artist where I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to achieve this for myself now. So it's truly because of those experiences that I'm here right now, for sure.
And what did you learn from those experiences? Because both Senec and Hooverphonics had not the best results, right? So what did you learn from this, and what can we expect from your performance? Can you give us a clue, something very little?
Yeah, well, I wish I could tell you what the clue is to having a great result at Eurovision, because then everyone would do it. If I had a glass ball and it would work, I would use it straight away, to be very clear. But what I've learned, it may be naive, but what I learned from those experiences is, even though, yes, maybe you could say that they didn't end the highest and Senna didn't make it to the final, there was still something truthful about their performance and about their song. And I do believe, as cliche as that may sound, I think that's still the most important thing, because I think, for me at least, as an artist, if you get too distracted by all the opinions and all the possible directions you should or shouldn't go to, I think as an artist, it's going to make you a little bit clueless, you know, because you're trying to please everyone at the same time. And I think, honestly, that's at some point an artist, you have to decide to stay true to your guns and stay true to what you want to do. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to what fans are saying. You shouldn't be picking up on certain things. I think there's a very thin line to be drawn in that sort of perspective, where you have to learn to say, I think they're right. I think I should listen to that. And to say, like, this is more about les goûts et les couleurs, we say in French, which means taste is something very individual, you know? So I have to say, for me, I take the two things into stride. I want to stay true to my guns, but I'm also very much so listening to the opinions of people around me and people who come from the Eurovision world. So I think it's probably finding the balance between those two worlds.
Sounds
If that
really good.
helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, let's concentrate a little bit on your entry for this year because of you, right? I'd like to know
Yes.
whether it was your first choice. I'm very happy that it's the final choice, because I love the song actually. But was it your first choice to compete at your pre-selection, or did you consider any other options? And well, if you consider other options, why did you actually choose because of you in the end?
Well, good question. I think because in my case, I had to choose between Because of You and The Nail. And while I do believe The Nail is very close to my heart, because both songs deal with self-acceptance and deal with staying true to who you are, even though it might upset other people. I think whereas The Nail was very focused on the journey towards becoming that person, and also the pain that could be inflicted by going through that journey. Because of You is about the same thing, is about self-acceptance, but Because of You is truly joyous and truly about celebrating that moment. And I thought, honestly, also when my other artists had to give their opinion about the song, I felt I was relieved when they said Because of You, because I felt it's still the best thing to do in this life we're living right now, with all the horrible things that are happening in the world. Maybe it's time to just give a little bit of joy to people for 3 minutes and just make it about that. And I think that's what Because of You is about. And I do think that was the best choice in that perspective.
That's
And
brilliant.
your entry has great staging potential. So,
Yes.
are you planning on making any changes to your staging for Liverpool? And can you give us some hints?
I will try to give you as many hints as possible without the Belgian delicacy killing me. But what I can tell you is it's going to be much more dynamic, which
Mhm.
means when we were doing the performance in the national final, we were kind of drawn to the sort of like the stairs system, which was lovely, but it was something that we realized is maybe not dynamic enough, especially when we saw the huge stage of Liverpool. So we will be using a lot of the stage. For example, there's going to be 3 backing vocalists with me, not just 2. So the other one, you have Monique Harken, there's Chantal Cascella, who were there for national final, and now Sandrine van Handenhoven will join me as well. And they're, again, the one who's going to join me, Sandrine, is also a great friend of mine. So it's going to be 3 of my best friends on stage, which is lovely. And there's going to be the blueprint of the visuals will stay. So it will stay true to the core of the queer culture. We will have drag and ballroom elements in those visuals, but there will be more interaction between me and the visuals as well. So I think it's as far as I can go, but it's definitely going to be different than what you saw on the national final.
Interesting.
Maybe it's a bit similar to the video clip we could watch some days ago, which has a lot of influence of like Vogue dancing and also the black and white effects. They are really cool.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about the video clip? Like, why did you decide to do it this way?
Well, the visuals that we created for the national final, we used a lot of those images, not everything, but a lot of those images for the video clip. And we really thought long and hard about maybe we wanted to do something completely different actually for the video. But in the end, we came back to it because it was just so strong. It's very simple, it's very clean cut, but it stays true as an homage to the early 90s with the black and white, with the graphic elements, with the pink overlays. And we just thought it really worked with the song. And the great thing about the video for me is like, because of you, is about, you know, chosen family and the friends you surround yourself with. A lot of the people who are in the videos, especially like the drag artists, are people I've worked with in the culture, people I've done parties with and stuff. So, you know, it's something that I really am proud of, that we use those elements in the video. And I think it's just, yeah, I think I wanted it to just be about fun, because even if you don't know about drag culture, or if you don't know about ballroom culture, if you're not from the queer world, you still see people up on that screen having fun and celebrating who they are. And I thought the video just stayed very true to that nature.
And do you think we'll be able to see something on stage in Liverpool related to the video?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Probably, yeah, probably. I mean, because we don't want the Belgium delegation to kill you before you actually.
Exactly. You know, it's better I first do it and then they kill me. That's
you
better.
have to include the dance with the heels. That's amazing. Like I would like to learn it when the people do with the heels. I love
you
that
mean
part.
with a dum bum bum bum, that part? You mean like when we
it's like an image of like people down.
You mean the duck walk?
Like this.
Yes. I got you.
All right. Okay. Well, actually, we want to in one piece, you know, to when you come to Madrid, right? So we want to perform, you know, in one piece. Okay. So let's talk about more pragmatical things.
Can I quickly ask you something? This is so stupid, but I'll be back in 1 minute, but I have to quickly put some adapter in my computer or I will lose you guys. I'll be back. This is so stupid, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, we want to keep listening to you.
Bueno, ya aprovecho, qué majo, ¿no?
Vamos a decir después también.
Bueno, pues sí, pues claro que sí.
Y lo vas a decir también después, porque lo estamos pasando muy bien con él y nos está contando muchas cosas y está siendo muy honesto con todo, ¿verdad? Great. Okay, so
sorry.
Saying, no, that's okay. I was just saying that I mean, because this is a contest, right? I mean, Eurovision is a contest, and in the end, you know, results matter, right? Would like to gather your opinion on the fact that you are performing fifth in the second semi-final, right, between Estonia and Cyprus, which are two ballads. So this will allow you to stand out, you know, with your performance.
Well, I think it's always because there's always people who say, or like they say, number 2 is the death trap. You know, but I also know there's a lot of artists who made it or had good results. So I do think there's probably sort of like a balance between those kind of statements. But I have to say, I was happy. Some people were saying we should have opened the show, which could have been nice as well. But I do think that, standing between two other sort of songs, especially if they're more ballads, could be an advantage. But I still believe also that it really depends on how well we stage the song and how well I perform that night, no matter what the genre is, no matter what the BPM is, you know. But I do think that is something that could be an advantage.
Brilliant.
So one thing that stands out, it's your styling and your looks, which are magnificent in my opinion. So
thank you.
What can we look forward to in Liverpool? Will you be using the hat?
Well, yeah, I can tell you this for sure. There will be a hat on stage. That's something I can tell you already. And I can also tell you that my outfit will be designed by Walter van Beirendonk, who also designed my outfits for the national final. The great thing is we could go into the archive, because Wolf van Berenok is a very big designer in Belgium who's worked for over 2 decades, and we could go into his archive and find a lot of old stuff and reuse them. So it's a bit of an ode to his oeuvre as a fashion designer as well. And I can tell you that there will be something of headpiece on stage for sure. And it also will be a bit more streamlined. That's what I can tell you as well. It's going to be a
Okay.
bit more streamlined, yes.
Hmm.
And he also, what I can tell you as well, yeah, last thing I can tell you is there's also Tom Erebaut who's going to help me out. He's the designer of Lady Gaga and Kylie Minogue. He's a stylist. And he's going to be the liaison. He's going to really make sure that my outfit works with what the backings are wearing and stuff. So he's someone who's really going to help to make everything come together as a full design piece.
Nice.
Yes.
And we also need to talk about your performance of yesterday at the Barcelona pre-party. How was it?
Okay.
And did you enjoy the experience and the connection with the public?
I enjoyed it a lot. I was a bit nervous because it's my first time doing one of these parties, but I think, yeah, it was just lovely because, you know, I just came on stage and I felt sometimes you go into a room and you feel the crowd is good. The crowd is good. And I really felt when I started saying like, oh, they're into it. Great. And it just makes you perform better. And that was lovely about yesterday. How it was, I just needed a little push in the beginning from them. I was like, you're on my side. I got you. And I just had to perform. So that was nice. And I also felt vocally I could do what I wanted to do. I felt free in my singing. And yeah, it was a lovely experience. I'm also lucky to have Chantal and Mo, my backings, with me because they're not only great singers, but also great performers. So I felt we really conveyed the performance. We conveyed the message of the song, and we could do what we had to do there. So I was very happy.
Brilliant. And just one final question from us related to pre-parties. I mean, we are organizing our own pre-party in Madrid, right? It's going to be massive and it's going to be such a big event, right? And we are so looking forward to have you there. So are you also excited about that? And what can we look forward to from your performance?
I'm looking, especially now that it's the first one, I'm like, bring on Madrid. I'm ready. It's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure, because I'm sure it's the same kind of vibe. I'm looking forward to performing for people in Madrid because I've been there a couple of times myself to tour, but also as just a tourist. It's a lovely city with a great energy. And also I'm looking forward to, it was very nice to hang out with the other contestants as well. I think it's lovely that people like you organize these things because I get to hang out with the artists in a very natural way. And you can talk to stuff about this competition with them, which is lovely as well. You can say, are you scared too? Yes, I'm scared too. Like, it's just lovely to interact with them and to know that you're kind of in the same boat. So it's a double whammy. You get to perform and you get to kind of bond with your fellow artists. So that's a great, great perspective.
Did you get along with
was there someone? Oh, sorry. Was there someone yesterday or a few days ago that you really bonded with?
Well, I mean, it's very brief, but I have to say that the guys from Joker Out were just lovely. They're really just fun. Immediately when I met them, I was like, they were just hilarious, making jokes, and they're having a good time, which I think you can see on stage. They really are there to just have fun and make a good performance. I briefly met Mimi Cat from Portugal. She was lovely. I think she did an amazing job yesterday as well. And I hung out with, I met the girl from Iceland as well. May from the UK was great. She's just a fun gal. I loved her. And also, for you guys yesterday, I have to say, Blanca Paloma, she tore the house down yesterday. It was incredible. I didn't meet her yet, but what a performance, what a singer. Guys should be very proud of her. She's amazing, really, really amazing.
Yeah, we are.
Good, should be.
And we will have the chance to see her again in Madrid, right? And you will have the chance to see her again, as well as Joker Out and many others, right? Gustaph, we'll have a chance to meet in person in Madrid, right? Because we'll sit together for a little chat, you know.
Wonderful.
So it's going to be amazing. So we are so looking forward to seeing you in Madrid performing for all of us, right? And thank you so much for making it to our show. And we wish you the best for you and your entry this year at Eurovision.
Thank you so much. You're very kind. Thank you. It was lovely.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we will see you around. Okay, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye bye.